maybe that'd be enough to do it now? I get it now, I think, probably. So shocked that you couldn't even scream when Pikmin 4 got announced. You were only able to cry. You know, when Pikmin 4 got announced, I didn't get to see the trailer right as it happened. So I was tuning into the direct afterwards. And, you know, was just trying to go in spoiler free. And I was talking about Pikmin at some point. I was like, man, I hope it gets announced soon. And someone in chat said, I'm sure it'll get announced soon. Knowing that it was about to be the next thing announced. And then Pikmin 4 was announced. And I was like, ah, you know. So there was that.
Go ahead.
All right, and we do this. We get some poison. Yeah, I kinda am. I beat Pikmin, and now we're doing this. Wait, I don't need to do this. How's it going, Guzma? I'm about to finish this up. We're just doing it with some finely aged cheese here, as one does. I'm gonna need you to skedaddle there. Yeah, closer to 3, I think. That's what I have with the stream title at least. But yeah, we're getting there. All right, rally plus. There we go.
I will fight for you.
I mean, see if I can get some random damage here. Just got off work. Hopefully it was a good day at work.
Anything for you.
And we come here and we contract like that. And we skedaddle here. But yeah, in terms of trip you mean, so like home again in that case. All right. Well, it's another day done at least, right?
I won't get lost.
And then we do this. Yeah. Definitely seems like a place that can get pretty decently busy. Wait a second. I'm dumb. I forgot to engage. Oh, jeez. Quite the entree, then. In that case. Alright. And we do this. Like that. And we come here. We do this. At first, I thought I forgot to engage again. That would have been embarrassing. Alright. Yeah, I've been rallied too. And, yeah. And he is the -7 there and stuff. But wasn't even much, but so, like, crazy. A really popular thing there, then. Alright. And then I think I needed to do this heal here, right? Actually, hold on. I have the time crystals to spare, so I may as well check. Would it be still enough if I did this? I cannot believe your eyes. Grab the nearest glass of water, splash it in your face to prove to yourself you weren't dreaming. Yeah, after so long, Pikmin 4 finally got announced. Oh, I can do that then. And now I'm at 2. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah. So now I contract like this. So definitely a real big Pikmin fan as well. You'd love to see it. Alright, I get ya. Ow, I'm gonna turn combat animations on. And we're gonna do this, and then rather than even healing with Boucheron, I should be able to just do this, right? Chain guard, and then attack, and I don't have to worry about that damage. Right? Alright, time to die! And then this is another adventure done. Nice miss. Bam. Okay, chain guard doesn't work there, I guess. Which means I do need to heal and hope for the best. Chain guard is only on enemy phase. Dang. Well, let's see here. But yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of thingamabobs there, considering considering all the craziness that goes on in Pikmin. Mention him if you'd like there. Hold on, is this fine? Oh, it's fine! It's fine! I was worried there. Alright, we good. Slight blunder, but we're fine. Stab, and then it's a perfect amount of damage with the poison. Ooh. Bam. Done. Another adventure complete.
I am defeated. This cannot be. Father. Father.
The bracelets. Where did they go?
They disperse when their duty is done.
Then I guess this is goodbye.
Why? Why? Even with the power of the bracelets, why am I no match for you?
Perhaps you see it now. The path Sombron laid out for you was never the right one.
If I cannot carry out Father's wishes, and my existence serves no purpose. All my life I have sought to be valued, only to discover that I am truly worthless. I will never be like you.
You are not worthless. You are my irreplaceable twin brother. We are two halves of a whole.
Ridiculous. I already told you I'm not Nil.
I know.
Not Nil? What does that mean?
I don't understand. What happened to the real Nil?
He died in battle 1,000 years ago. Shortly after Nell gave him her Dragonstone, he wanted nothing more than to make his sister proud.
And who are you?
A fell dragon whose twin perished when I was too young to remember it. I was a lone child, with no abilities to distinguish me, surrounded by pairs of twins, until I met Nil. My mirror image. The resemblance between us was uncanny, and we discovered we had much else in common. We were inseparable for a time. And I was all too happy to have something like a real brother. He was my other half. That was how I felt, at least. But for him, there could be no replacement for Nell. When I found him, on the battlefield, breathing his last, his only thoughts were of her. He gave me her Dragonstone, and said that he wished Nell would never have to grieve. For that reason, he asked me to take his place.
So you became Nil.
I made it appear as if I had been the one to die that day. In a way, I was. There would be no one to mourn my passing. Father would not even notice.
I'm having trouble believing all of this.
Believe it, I am an imposter. You should not hesitate to kill me. I brought this world to the brink of ruin. If you allow me to live, I will do it again. Let that be your reason, if nothing else. What say you, Nell?
I knew you were not Nil from the start.
What?
I have known about his death for a long time. I saw through your ruse from the beginning. I simply chose not to confront you about it. You took his place for his sake, and for mine. That was an act of kindness. We may not have been born as twins, but I have always thought of you as my other half.
Then, you are a fool!
Say what you will. I speak the truth. You will recall how we visited the burial site at Letho's castle to say our farewells. You may not have seen that I left a pressed flower there. It was Nil's. I was not saying goodbye only to the divine dragon that day.
You were saying it to Nil, too.
I carried that flower for a long time. I suppose some part of me was unable to move on. Despite that, you became very dear to me. Your companionship saved me from loneliness and despair. I was happy to be a sister to you. I will always cherish our time together, even if you do not feel the same. Without you, I would never have been able to continue fighting all this time. I trusted you above all others, believed in you with all my heart. The only proof that we are not true twins is that I failed to sense your actual intentions.
Perhaps. I confess, I have longed to hear you say such things. They make fine parting words. Are you ready?
Yes.
Thank you. For everything. Goodbye, Nell.
Goodbye.
Stop. What are you doing?
Nil!
There is another way to end your pain. Once I am gone, you will be free. For my part, I would rather die than lose anyone else.
No!
If only I had realized sooner. I could have prevented this. Seeing Nil and my divine dragon again may be too much to hope for. But even so, I will rest well knowing your pain is at an end.
Why would you do this? I deserve this fate, not you. You should have killed me.
I could not bear to lose a second brother. For that is what you are to me, despite it all. Before I go, will you tell me your name?
Lady Nell! No! Please, no!
She's gone. No last words of reproach. No regret for her own passing. All she wanted was to know my name. Rafal, sister. My name is Rafal.
Rafal.
How did I forget myself? Nil asked me to look after his sister. That was his dying wish. But it was not merely his wish. It was also mine. All I wanted, all I really wanted, was to be her other half. When did I forget those feelings? You said this would be the end of my pain, Nell. But it is not. How could it ever be?
I sense something. The Dragonstone pieces, they have a strange energy about them.
That is Sombron's magic. Could it be that he cast a spell on that Dragonstone? To sow the seeds of hatred in the heart of Lord Nil, Rafal. Dragonstones are destroyed by the death of their owner. Lady Nell died to break the spell.
Sombron made it so that you two would fight each other instead of conspiring against him.
Nonsense. You mean to say that it was just some spell? That all should be forgiven? Ridiculous! Regardless of Sombron's influence, I am responsible for my own actions. I chose to do what I did. It was what I wanted. I will not allow anyone else to shoulder my blame. Not even Father. I sought power and I attained it. Even now, I have no regrets about that. I only wish that I could have kept the promise I made to Nil. Divine One.
What is it?
I have heard that dragons of great power can impart their life force unto others. Do you suppose that is true?
Yes. My mother did that for me. But it took 1,000 years before I woke up.
Then I will do the same. I will revive Nell. Even if it takes me just as long, I will dwell in this empty world alone. In the hope that she will one day rise. Perhaps that will be a fitting punishment for what I have done. And perhaps, if and when you wake, we may truly become two halves of a whole.
You will. No. You already are.
Is that so?
Rafal, after Nell wakes up, why don't you come live with me in my Ilios?
What?
I have a feeling you'd be able to travel there from here in the Somniel. It's hard to explain, but I can sense my world right now. It feels closer.
Yes. It would seem that a path to other worlds lies open. Perhaps it is due to the bracelets. I did wish to grant my father's desire, if the conquest of other worlds was part of his plan. But I believe it is as you said. It should be possible to move between worlds from here.
Then I'll grant you both my protection so you can travel there, when you're ready. The Somniel can't be entered without my blessing as a divine dragon. So come find me. That invitation is open, however long it takes for you to accept it.
You would make an ally of the one who so recently tried to kill you? If you are asking me here and now, then my answer is certainly no. That said, 1,000 years is a long time. I will say this. If by some miracle, Nell awakens and finds it in her heart to forgive me, then, and only then, will I journey to you.
I understand.
Now, there is nothing more to say. Leave me.
As you wish. I hope to see you again, though.
Lord Rafal?
Yes?
Despite all that's happened, I am grateful for the time we shared. I hope that we'll meet as allies again.
Your kindness is wasted on me.
It has been done. In case I ever randomly feel like playing it normally, I guess I can leave that slot open. And what was this slot for? I remember. I'm saving there. So we did it?
Here we are, back at Lethos Castle.
It feels as if we've been gone for ages.
So much has happened since I first met Nell and Nil here. The kings and queens, the emblems, they're all gone.
Yes, and Mavir too. What should we do now?
Beats me. Every nation's lost its rulers, and probably their whole populations by now. I guess we could try to rebuild. Or each grab an empty throne and call ourselves rulers.
Rulers with no subjects. I fear we have little to do but bide our time until the end.
What if you came with me?
Divine One?
This world is beyond saving. You said it yourselves. There's no one left. I'm just a visitor. I have to go back before long. But if I leave you behind, I can't even be sure how long you'll survive. It would mean throwing yourselves into battle again. But still, I hope you'll consider it.
Sounds pretty good to me. Better than twiddling our thumbs to the grave, at least. I say we go. A new world might mean scary new enemies and dangers. But still.
It's an appealing proposal, but I'm not sure. I wonder what Mavir would say. Would he forgive us? What do you mean? We are his family, and if we go, he'll be left here all alone. It doesn't seem fair. Why should we be the lucky ones? Why do we deserve this?
Deserve what? To be happy? Madeline, what's the last thing that the big guy, that Mavir, said to you?
He said he wished me the greatest happiness.
There you have it. He'd probably tell you to look forward, not back. Even if it means leaving him behind.
You don't get to speak for him. You didn't know him like I did.
I knew him pretty darn well. We spent a ton of time together. We were practically brothers. Anyway, you gotta admit, he wouldn't want you sulking forever.
I know. Mavir would tell me to go. To try and be happy without him. Go ahead and cry, Madeline. There hasn't been time to mourn him since it happened.
I'm sorry. You were born into this world, and I'm asking you to put it behind you. But if it makes any difference, I spoke to Rafal. He's planning to come as well, one day. You could wait for him with me.
Divine One, I share Madeline's struggle. It feels wrong to be the only ones going, to leave our Lord and Lady behind.
I understand.
But instead of languishing here, we could go to a world where our skills can be of use. And after everything that's happened, I find it difficult to turn down your request. We have been through so much together.
Yes, we have.
I'm inclined to go. Do the two of you feel the same?
Yep.
I agree. Then from now on, the remaining winds will swear our loyalty to you as your attendants. We will go with you, Divine One.
I'm glad. I look forward to spending more time with all of you.
The feeling is mutual. All right. Remember, you two, we have to work hard as the Four Winds, even in another world.
What, we're not calling ourselves the Three Winds now?
You knew the answer before you even asked. We four are a family, and will always be together. Nothing can change that.
All right, everyone. Let's go. Nell, Rafal, I'll see you again someday.
Thank you, my fellow divine dragon. I pray your future is filled with hope and love. And please, Take good care of them for me.
Well, I guess that's it, and it's gonna be credits rolling. I don't know why I was just showing a graphic. Also, the Doogie's back here again. So I missed part of the initial part of the cutscene there. Well, we never saw this art, I don't think. At least. It doesn't look familiar. Maybe there was some other graphics that they never actually used? Oh. Yeah, I guess there wasn't, you know? Yeah. I guess there were some other things that weren't used, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, or it was earlier. Okay, these are pretty cool. I guess I'll let them play out and stuff and show what they are and stuff here. Well, I guess we're now done with Fire Emblem Engage, and we can move on to Blazing Sword. You know, is what we can do. Yeah, I don't recognize these. I could have been using these in thumbnails and stuff. What the heck? Oh, there's no credits rolling with it? Seems odd. Yeah, it does feel odd here. Yeah, these make awesome thumbnails. Maybe I'll grab some of these and, you know, redo some of my previous thumbnails. This may be what I'll do. It is tempting here. Yeah, because they are pretty neat. Well, the credits is usually when I give my full review, so I guess I already give my full review for Fire Emblem Engage, so I can give it for the Fell Xenologue here specifically. I guess we can start it with the story first. I did think it was interesting, I did think it was cute, but like, there are several questions where it's like, huh, really? I think the biggest thing is just like, that all of the people weren't people there anymore, everyone else was corrupted, and so Nell was killing the corrupted lords just because they're corrupted? But like, realistically, but why though, is the question. Previously in the main game, whenever we saw a corrupted figure, they were always like these, you know, awful monstrous figures that have like these red marks and black armor and stuff like that, you know, that look like these demons that have come to attack you and they don't seem to have any mind of their own. Until the Divine Dragon got revived in the main game. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be pretty cool. We're gonna see Alear as like this monstrous being and stuff. Nope, Alear was just normal Alear, and everyone was sketched out like, whoa, you're corrupted now? And she's like, yep, I guess so, but I'm fine. Becomes the 13th emblem. And then all the people here just seemed like they were acting like normal people, but were apparently corrupted. But if someone is, you know, kind of a doppelganger or clone, revived from the dead, whatever the heck it is there, is it really a bad thing to just let them go about their lives none the wiser? Even if they know they're corrupted, just so that there's, you know, some people in the world and stuff? Who cares if they're not like normal humans there anymore? As long as they're, you know, living their day-to-day lives and are big chillin' and stuff. It's not like their presence is any harm to anything, right? So I think that's my biggest thing with the story, that I'm just like, huh? About? That Nell was killing all the corrupted there? I don't quite get it. I did think that the dynamic between Nell and Nil there was interesting, and the reveal at the end with Nil not actually being Nil, in reality being Rafal there. I thought that was pretty cool. What's this?
The weather's so beautiful today. That bright blue sky feels like a good omen.
Oh, I'm still in the flyer outfit for this file. And then you got the other two.
Nell! Rafal! I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Time moves differently. Different worlds, right?
It has been some time, Divine One.
For me, it has been 1,000 years. But Nell has returned, and we have come as promised. My sister and I are at your disposal.
Welcome to you both.
And he does refer
really
to her as
is
his
a lovely
sister.
Morning.
Cool. Nell and Rafal joined your group, and that's how you unlock them in the main game and stuff. I could talk a little bit about the actual DLC maps in the main game, but I think I've talked about those a little bit already. But yeah, I did, in terms of the story of the DLC there, wow, all that stuff there. I did quite like, now change to those. Yeah, those classes there, you can try them out. I'm not gonna get the chance to try them out. I'd rather move on to the next game. Don't crash on me. Don't crash on me. Holy crap. I did like the dynamics between Nell and Rafal there. And then the whole thingamabob where it's like, he's actually the most powerful one. And, you know, he was just kind of throwing when he was with us, being like the biggest pushover ever and hard to keep alive. The reveal that he's actually like the strongest dudo there. That was That was pretty neato there. Yeah, a single Fire Emblem word there. Anyway, I thought that was really cool there. And then him being the antagonist. You know, I always hate it when stories are like, this villain was doing evil things all along because they were just like controlled by this outside force. So, you know, at first I thought I might not like how that was ending, but, you know, it's kind of poetic with, you know, Rafal trying to atone for what he's done by doing what Lumera once did for Alir here and such. That was kind of neato there. And hold on, how am I forming this together? One, by having it all be from the Dragonstone, and therefore she needs to kill herself to destroy the Dragonstone and take that curse off of Rafal there. Makes sense for her, and to really speak about the way that she sees him, despite him not being her true brother. Two, it serves the plot point of being a symbolic thing with him, you know, atoning for his sins with, you know, doing what Lumera once did for Alir. And three, instead of him just being like, oh, so it was all this all along, and I'm like completely clear of any wrongdoing, he was like, no, screw that. I'm not buying into this. This is my fault here. I'm the one responsible for all these actions. I'm not gonna let anyone else take the blame for me, even like, you know, my father that put that curse there. So at first, the kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, there was this character that was cursed or mind controlled to do all these evil things, is normally a plot point that I'd be like, wow, that's really lazy writing. But it was used for like 3 purposes. When you use plot points for like multi-purpose things, like, then it's great. So I actually did like that plot point. It's probably gonna be like the only time that I'll actually say that like a character being manipulated, mind controlled, whatever the heck, is actually a good plot point, because usually I wouldn't, you know. But I actually like the way that it was used there. That was pretty neat. It was interesting to see the counterparts of the 4 hounds, I believe it was. The counterparts in the other world being the 4 winds. That was pretty neato there, and then getting them in the party and such. I do like the characters that they added, and their unique thing or Bob's the fact that Nell can straight up become a dragon. That is pretty cool with Fellspark and such. I like that. I think that might be it for my positives. The negatives of the Fell Xenologue there, my god, Maddening Fell Xenologue was a mistake. The map design is so awful. I was mentioning it before we were doing the final boss there, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much here. But essentially the short version is, I feel like games should have that ebb and flow of like, here's some stress, return to tranquility. Here's some stress, return to like take it easy, and back and forth as you overcome challenges after challenges. And yes, Pikmin 4 is beaten, and now Fire Emblem Engage is too. Whereas this game was just like stress, because reinforcements just wouldn't let up. If I could change one aspect about this game, it would just be the reinforcements. Like, my god. People have been complaining about random ambush spawns in Fire Emblem for a long time. But Engage was the game where the developers were like, random ambush spawns? People love those? Alright, let's just crank it up to a bazillion this time. This has to be the most random ambush spawns I've ever seen out of any Fire Emblem game that I've played before. And the fact that you'll go in with like a small squad and then face so many reinforcements, like that one map, Fell Xenologue 3, was my least favorite of the ones that I actually played out. The fact that you have, what, like 9 units total? I believe it was 9. And once you get to the center of the map, you'll have 12 flyers spawning every single turn, which your archers can 1 round, but everyone else needs a 2 round. It's just not feasible, and I just had my soul slowly leave my body with, you know, losing motivation there and any hope of victory. I saw like no chance of victory in situations like that. It's just straight up like I had to restart the map and go in with a completely different strategy, you know? It was just not satisfying. It didn't feel like I was figuring out the right strategy to get ahead or finding my own way forward. It was just like, yeah, let's figure out like what random niche thing the developers might expect that will get me forward, you know? And that really wasn't all that satisfying. As Mortis was saying during some previous streams, it's the Bravely Default 2 of a Fire Emblem is what it felt like. In the main game, it felt a lot more like I could make my own builds and get on through. This, it felt a lot more like, yeah, if you're not doing this roughly the strategy the developers expect, get screwed. Well, except for the last 2 maps where they were cheesed over, but you know, some exceptions to that. You know, but generally you would be intended to play those maps normally. I was only just barely able to cheese that final one there. But, you know, the things that I've heard about some of these last couple maps is insane. Like, the fact that on Fel Xenologue 5, if you did not set up Alear as a dodge tank on Fel Xenologue 4, you can't change it and you're just locked in and completely screwed. It's like, wow, that is great design right there. And the fact that Alear's gonna constantly be getting sniped, and apparently once you get to Rafal at the end there to fight him, so apparently a couple more Mage Canniers spawn in a place that you can't get them and keep on sniping Alear, and if they're not a dodge tank, they just die after however many hours of trying. So, you know, it really doesn't feel like as much of, despite this being a strategy game, this doesn't feel as much like a battle of wits and strategy as much as it is just knowing what's going to happen before the battle, before the developers surprise you with like random BS you couldn't expect. Whether it be random ambush spawns, or the fact that you had to set up Alear as a dodge tank before one chapter if you want any chance of victory. It's just really dumb and not great design. So there were definitely some problems that I was having with the main game maps towards the end, but it paled in comparison to the Fel Xenologue. Like, you know, Fel Xenologue 1 and 2 didn't feel too bad. You know, I was able to take Fel Xenologue 2 in much the same way that I would, like, the normal Fire Emblem thing of, you know, go deal with this group of enemies, defeat them, go deal with the next group, so on and so forth. Fel Xenologue 2 was not that bad. Fel Xenologue 1 was pretty tricky, but once you find the right pattern with, like, a small handful of units, it's like, okay, that's not that bad. It's not a super long map. It was pretty wacky at times, but, you know, it wasn't that bad. Those two were in the realm of possibility. And then 3 and onward is where things got a little bit crazy. I did manage to find in Fel Xenologue 4 the right strategy to get through. And yeah, we just beat the final boss there. Indeedly do. Like, I feel like, so the hardest one that I played out normally was Fel Xenologue 4. That one took me 2 tries. But the only reason why I failed the first time was just, again, information that the game doesn't give you at first. Like, where the bosses are gonna move, the freaking insane amounts of reinforcements that Ivy's gonna bring. Well, not amount, but just, like, the strength of them, considering they're those big dragon doodles. That's information that I didn't have. And so the game feels like you need to do at least one throwaway attempt of every map just to get information, or just Google what it is or something like that. Because if I had just known that from the beginning, then I would have just gone straight for Tamara on my first attempt and been able to do it first try instead of second try after it being like, oh, surprise, here's information you didn't have at the beginning. There's like an hour down the drain. It's not very respectful towards one's time. And, you know, it's funny. The last several Fire Emblem games I've tried to say are a lot more respectful towards the player's time with things like Mill's Turn Wheel, Divine Pulse, Time Crystal, stuff like that, instead of just having this time go down the drain. But when you're over halfway through the map committed to one strategy, and it's like, surprise, here's this thing that you didn't know about at the beginning and we refuse to tell you that's here now, that invalidates your entire strategy, you should probably try from the beginning again. It's, 1, not good design, and 2, it's just completely disrespectful towards the player's time. So, in terms of the Fel Xenologue, I thought the story was intriguing. I was getting behind it there. There was some confusion with things like the corrupted there, but generally I was behind it. I liked the characters, I liked the counterparts. The music slapped, the music was great. Fire Emblem music is always awesome, and the Fel Xenologue music was pretty darn cool. I wish there were some more new map themes. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would reuse the main one throughout most of it, and then use the leitmotif of it in the final boss theme, so I guess it makes sense for the final boss theme having more of an impact. But, you know, I guess it's not that big a deal. I don't think there was that much new OST introduced by Cindered Shadows and Three Houses either, but the stuff that was there was really good too. So the music was great. I don't think there's much to talk about when it comes to like visuals and graphics and stuff. Pretty much the same as you know, main game Engage. You know, the designs were just fine there. There's only really 2 new character designs, being Nell and Rafal. And I guess like the new kind of poses that the evil versions of the lords would do there, which is like, oh, this is clearly a different person. You know, stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool. We didn't really get to try out the new classes. You have to beat it before it lets you try out the new classes, which means that if you're just like me and you want to get through things and then put it down, that means that you don't actually get to try out the Mage Cannier and Enchanter, which I've looked up how they work. I have a decent idea. You know, Mage Cannier can attack from afar with all sorts of different blasts that do all sorts of different effects, have less accuracy the farther away the target is. And Enchanter is like, you can spend consumable items to enchant, like, to have like some sort of an effect in an area. And you can also enchant a weapon to give buffs. Like, I think you enchant a sword and it'll give hit plus 20, an axe is crit plus 20, a lance is like damage plus 5, something like that. That's a really OP one. I don't remember. I don't remember what all it was. Maybe the lance was hit. Oh, sword was a void, lance was hit, axe was crit. Colorless was damage, I think. I don't remember. I don't remember there what exactly it was, but stuff like that. But you can only have one thing enchanted at a time, but all things of that name are enchanted. So if you enchant a silver sword, then everyone's silver swords get enchanted, both across your party and enemies, apparently. So that's how, oh, and that's what the yellow means, right? And I was confused about the yellow thingamabob earlier, now that I recall it. Just means that thing was enchanted. Alcris silver bow there got enchanted for more damage. That's how enchanter works, and it's key adept, so it can guard and stuff. It hits very lightly, it uses punches and daggers, but it has some good speed and stuff though, so you can maybe get a little bit of damage and poison and stuff like that here. There, I described how the classes work, so now we don't have to show them off and stuff. But yeah, so it's pretty sucky that there's 2 new classes, well technically more if you count the unique ones, but generally 2 new general classes introduced by the DLC. And you can't even use them until you're already done anyway. You know, I think that's a little bit lame. And then there's the enemies using these classes against you that you don't completely understand. Like, you know, the mage cannoneers are kind of evident where they attack from afar. The enchanters, not so much. Enchanters are a lot more complicated. And even when I forgot how that worked, I was confused why Alcris bow was yellow there. Because I haven't gotten the chance to experiment with it myself and know how it works. So, you know, that's another lack of information there. I was like, what the heck? So, I thought the DLC was neat, but it could use a lot of polishing. How worth it is the DLC? I mean, the DLC includes a lot more than the Fell Xenologue. It includes, you know, the maps that were introduced to the main game as well, along with, along with the Emblem rings. No. Oh, yes, this is Emblem rings. I just need to select down here. Yeah, we can select Nell there. Oh, wait, what do you have here? Fell Stone, Fell Magic Stone. Oh, interesting. Interesting there. Anyway, it also includes, you know, the 7 new emblems here, and I think they're pretty cool. Got a cool cast of characters here. I still don't know why this was Camilla and not Azura. Actually, well, I guess I technically would know. You know, I guess I know what kind of fan base they're trying to appeal to, but, you know. I generally like the DLC maps in the main game as well. They were kind of BS at times, you know, was certainly the case. But the emblems I think are really cool. I think that the things that they bring to the table are really cool. There is a little bit of an issue of power creep. The fact that the stat boosting skills that they have are just straight up better than the main game, you know? But I guess that's bound to happen. But generally, all in all, across the extra maps and the Fell Xenologue, I thought it was pretty nice. You know, altogether, I'd say that's worth it, but, like, don't play the Fell Xenologue on Maddening. Play on, like, normal, maybe hard at the most. I always tell people, when it comes to Fire Emblem stuff, never play Awakening on Lunatic Plus Classic. I think I'd even stronger advise people not to play Engage Fell Xenologue on Maddening, more so than I would dissuade people from Awakening Lunatic Plus. I never thought another Fire Emblem thing would come up where it's like, yeah, that, I think it's honestly worse than Lunatic Plus. How did they manage to do that in a new modern Fire Emblem game? But I honestly feel like that's the case. Lunatic Plus was just bullshit because of, like, BS skills that enemies had that would get randomized around. Fell Xenologue was BS just because of, like, the sheer number of enemies and stalling and how much they want you to struggle for every single little tiny smidge of movement only for you to get screwed by more reinforcements coming in. You know, in Lunatic Plus, you just learn the strats around the BS skills, and this, you just pick a god and pray, as Frederick would say. You know, it's basically what you do. Oh, man. If the only way to play it was on Maddening, I would not recommend the DLC at all, if that was the only choice to play it. Because there is other difficulty modes, I'd say, like, in general with the content. Like, it is a decent smidge of content that's added, you know, with the, I guess there's 6 additional maps here because Edelgard didn't have one, and then 6 Fell Xenologue maps for a total of 12 new maps. On the lower difficulties, they're probably fine. I wouldn't know, but I would guess. Assuming they're not too bad, yeah, I'd say the DLC's worth it. But if the only way to play it was on Maddening, I would say don't go through the pain. It's not worth the struggle. You know, unless maybe you just want to clear some of these and get the emblems for the sake of clearing the main game, you know. But, you know, considering this was so BS that I needed to do this. Where's the full display capture? Considering that I needed to do this, you know, Yuzu and use cheats to get infinite SP. Like, where's configure current game? There it is. Infinite skill points so I could get every skill that I wanted in order to clear the DLC instead of having to deal with the pain that is grinding in Fire Emblem Engage. You know, when was the last time that I've run into a situation where a game screwed me so much that I needed to resort to cheating to grind just to feel like I had a chance at victory. You know, it's not great. If I wasn't willing to do this, like if I wasn't doing a series as a content creator and I was just, you know, playing on my Switch there and that's it, I would have just quit. You know, I'm still technically stumped on Xenologue 3 on my actual physical copy. So, you know, I kind of got to this point where I did this instead. So, yeah, if I wasn't a content creator with an obligation to finish it up, I would have just looked up the cutscenes on YouTube and then told myself that I'll beat it, like, gameplay-wise one day and then never get around to it because I never actually have the motivation to do it. It's the way that the DLC kind of felt to me. It was a mess. Do I want to play Blazing Blade now? I don't have my layout set up. I still have, like, the layout set up from when I had it with Lynn there. I guess the Dogi Cam is on here so it can just take up some space rather than some units. I am tempted. I just need to take my mind off of Engage here and play a little bit of different Fire Emblem, you know? What I need to do now. We can play that guy's game. That guy right there. Look, is the guy... My camera. I mean, my microphone kind of blocks it. There we go. Look, it's the guy. We could play his game. That might be fun. That maybe help take my mind off things here. But yeah. I would have to be on MU because I'm doing Hector hard mode. I do not feel like playing through the game multiple times just to unlock Hector hard mode and, you know, get that. Because I've already beaten the game before. It was my first Fire Emblem game I ever played. So I want to try a way that I've never played it before, and that's Hector hard mode. I've never played Hector's story, and I've never tried hard mode. So apparently that's the hardest difficulty you can do in that game. Because I always play things on this channel on the hardest difficulty. And, you know, whenever I'm giving my full review at the end, I try to give my review from the perspective of the hardest difficulty. It should feel like a really good challenge, but it shouldn't feel unfair. The main game didn't feel unfair until the end with the amount of reinforcement spawns. Like, the main game felt relatively fair throughout it in Maddening. The Xenologue just straight up felt unfair throughout most of it. So, if the game's gonna pull up BS, I'm gonna pull up BS2 and cheese the last couple maps because screw playing them. But, you know, maybe I can return to form with some Blazing Blade. Where's my folder for the Thingamabob? Because I know I had this set from when we did Lynn's story and stuff. But yeah, my layout isn't completely set up, but the dog cam can take up some of it anyway. I am tempted. Hold on, let's see here. The Thingamabob here, I was doing this. And it's over here. And then recent. Oh, because I changed the directory of everything. Failed to open that. Gosh dang it. I need to... Because I put in a new drive recently, so I moved everything around. I wonder. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I have loaded up here. I just need to find where my things are. And I actually don't know where I put my game. Hold on. Let's see here. Probably put it on like some drive where things don't need to be loaded as fast because, you know, it's just simple Game Boy Advance Thingamabob. Hold on. Nope, not my D drive. Is it my F drive? Let's see here. Ah, it probably is. Let's see here. But will I have my save data there? Or did the directory for that change too? Yeah, look at this. What if we play this instead? This could be fun, right? Ah, it's loud. Ah, pause that. Holy crap, why are you so loud? Long ago. Wait, did I select Binding Blade by accident or something? I did. This is Fire Emblem 6. Gosh dang it. Darn you. There. Look at these Thingamabobs. I selected Binding Blade. Blazing Blade, darn you. There we go. Gosh dang it. Maybe one day I'll play Binding Blade. I want to do this first, though. There we go. This looks about right. I was like, yeah, that intro doesn't look right. You know? There we go. Once dragons and men coexisted, they shared a peace forged in wisdom. Yes. A peace that lasted many generations. Where do you set your controls? Oh, that was lost when mankind disrupted this balance in a sudden onslaught. Usually it's there on most Thingamabobs. Man fought dragon in a savage war that shook the foundations of their world. This war was called the Scouring. Defeated and humbled. Dragons vanished from the realm. In time, man rebuilt and spread his dominion across the land. This is making me nostalgic. And into the islands beyond. Oh, you can connect to Dolphin. That's cool. Millennium has passed since those dark days ended. I can see if my controller just works here. Actually, I think this is set up for keyboard, right? Oh, let's try it out if I press a button here. Oh my goodness, it's working. I guess my controls are set up then. Huh. But now my A and B are switched. It's set to my actual A on my controller. When I was playing Engage here, I had them swapped around so it was like a, you know, like a Nintendo controller. So that might screw me up a little bit. Yeah, how do we play this? I'm so done with Engage. I don't want to play it anymore. I want to play something else. But yeah, it was Peace by Dragon, Human, God, Mad, something we had to defeat the dragon. Yeah, that's par for the course there. Might adjust the volume here a little bit more. Yeah. So this to be streamed too, because I did Lynn's story a little while back. And yeah, and then there's the whole another journey, so like my save file should be working fine. Hold on. Let's turn off this. I'll close out the thingamabob here. I think my layout is still generally set up. Oh yeah, and I had this. Oh yeah, my directory for everything changed. Gosh dang it. Yeah, I just gotta turn all that crap off. That's what I'm gonna have to do. My goodness. Sure, let's do just a tad of this tonight. I do want to set up my layout to have like sprites and stuff here again. Maybe something else. Maybe I'll figure out character art for like as my team comes together here. But we can just start a little bit of this for fun, right? Hold on. Let's see here. I gotta refine the directories for things. Let's listen to the Fire Emblem theme in the meanwhile. And sure, this will just be in part of the finale of my Engage playthrough. So anyone that's done watching Engage, let's tune into some Blazing Sword next. I already did the first story, Lynn's story, which is basically the tutorial, earlier this year. I did it in March. It's currently towards the end of July. You know, so that one's already done. So if anyone wants to see the beginning of the story, tune into like the first 12 parts of this series, I guess, and then we're resuming from part 13 here. Really quickly with Hector Hard mode. Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. Is Engage a subversion of Effie plots as the main character's dragon defeating human dragon? They're set in different universes. I mean, some Fire Emblem games are in the same universe, like 6 and 7 are in the same universe because, you know, 7 that we're playing here is the prequel story to 6, Roy's Tale. So like Ellawood, who's gonna be one of the main characters here, is Roy's dad, for example. You know, I believe that 1 and 3 are in the same... Wait, which one was 2? Was 2 really just into Gaiden? Because if so, I think that they're in the same universe there. 3 and 4, I believe, are in the same universe. Awakening was in the same universe as, you know, the original games as well. Face is a separate one. But there's weird, like, multiverse, like, they can meet and stuff like that, and the Fell Xenologue was a multiverse thing as well. Alright, which one was background 2 here? What did I have set? Let's guess this. Where is this at? Oh, it's the one on the right, which means the one on the right that I had was this one here. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I was clearly not set up for this. And then the one down here was this one? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. There's our 3, and then there's a little bit of Roy stuff. And the chat is down there, I believe? Yeah, it's down there and stuff. And I was gonna have this space for, like, you know, sprites and stuff. I could always just move the chat here, because I don't have sprite stuff set up right now. It might not be that important. I don't know. I don't know. Let's turn off all these things. Goodbye. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this layout, technically. All right, bye. See you later, stuff. It was nice knowing ya. But yeah, I wanted to, before I stream this, I kind of wanted to rethink what exactly I was doing here for the layout, like if I really wanted to have all the sprites down here again. Because I thought it would look cool at first, but as it developed, I started to think that it looked kind of ugly. So, I don't know here. I don't know. Let's see, turn off the things. Off it goes. We'll get Lynn back eventually here, but it'll be a little smidge. Let's see here. There we go. What's this? Image? I don't know what I'm turning on and off with this. What I can add if I make this into just kind of a regular title there. Fire Emblem Blazing Blade title. Let's see here. And then I grab this. Yeah, I should probably change my stream title and stuff around. That kind of blocks Ninian a little bit, but that's fine. Sure, so this is stream 2. Let's see here. Let's just put in the stream title. Dog cam. Hector hard mode. Blind, I guess. And say I'm so done with engage for the stream title. Here we go. And then Fire Emblem. Blazing? Do I need to look that up? Fire Emblem Blazing Blade. Oh, it has a category as the Blazing Blades, not just Fire Emblem as it was called internationally here. So, let's see here. Hector Hard title, and I can make the thingamabob that I made here. This. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? And I used like the font that matched with stuff here. There we go. That looks kind of cool, right? And maybe I'll adjust the dog cam. Where's cam 2? Where's cam 2? Heck. Here it is. Top of things. Here. The doggy can be chilling there so that we still see, you know, the art and stuff. There we go. That works a-okay. We can figure out some more details later or something. Doesn't quite look centered there. Maybe a little bit more to the right. There we go. Does that look cool? Maybe. I don't know. And maybe I'll disable the chat and put it somewhere else here. MGBA chat. Let's call this MGBA chat 1. The one at the bottom. And I'm going to disable it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. Oh, I just pasted chat 1 again. I want to paste... Where the heck? It's been a while since I've done this. Oh, I can't right now because it uncopied it. This is what's going on here. MGBA chat 1. And we paste. No, not reference. Paste duplicate, darn you. Why won't it let me? Copy. And then it won't let me paste duplicate. I gotta put in a new chat. Gosh dang it, man. All right, let's see here. Let's go properties. Oh, not MGBA. MGBA chat. Properties. Grab the URL. I'm gonna go add a new browser source. Let's see here. The heck? Where's... Oh, there it is, browser. It's just not called browser source. MGBA chat 2. So it can be another location. That's the default thing there. And then I can move it over here. And then I gotta adjust it. I should probably test alerts and stuff like that. Let's replay that 10 bits from earlier. There we go. Oh, I gotta move it up, though.
10 bits for your troubles.
Alright. Yeah, these two can move up now. Where's my alert box? Here it is. Let me move it up so that's not blocked by title stuff there. There we go. And MGBA chat 2. Testing a whole bunch of text to see how this shows up and stuff. And whoa! Okay, let's see here. So... let's set the width to like half that. And then I can extend this out a bit. There we go. That should be clear. Oh, can't really see stuff here all that well. Am I gonna need to put on a partially black background? Let's see here. So image, I think I already have some black thingamabobs. If I just look for it here. Black 45%. Oh, that goes across the whole thing. But then I limit it to just over there. Stuff. You know, like here. Here, and then that's the designated chat box. Should crop it from the one side here. One more. Crop left. One more pixel. Oh, and now move it over again. Ugh. Hold on. Gotta get it just right. Uh-oh. And then move it over 2 pixels. There, that looks aligned now, right? And I paste that. And this is in the wrong order now. I need to move this down. And there we go. Now it's clear, right? There we go. Now that's clear. We can just do this for now. And if I want to put on like some sprites and stuff later as the team develops, that can matter then. But in the very beginning, it's not like I'm going to have like a whole lot of different doodles. It'll just be whatever the game gives me. So it's not that big a deal. You know, I just minimize other things so I don't have distractions. stuff. There we go. Sure, let's play some Blazing Blade tonight. Let's do that. That sounds like a good idea, right? Sounds like a good idea, but maybe I'll restart it here and get this thingamabob properly underway. Alright, yep. Yugi is kind of conked out. Yeah, it's past midnight. It is just becoming July 23rd. Let's play a little bit of Blazing Blade.